You're watching Midday in Kansas with Ron Harbaugh and Rob Peppers. 13 News, Kansas news leader.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Midday in Kansas. I'm Ron Harbaugh.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Peppers. This is Friday, September 17th, 2004.
In the news, Ivan's strength has weakened, but it's still causing some major problems for thousands of people. And a reporter doing a story on a dangerous intersection was nearly struck after an accident at that intersection while he was reporting. But first, let's check our weather and things to talk about.
That's right. We still have one severe thunderstorm warning that will be in effect until 12:15 officially for eastern Morris County. Why is it raining out there? Well, it's pretty easy to tell. Here's Weather 101 for you. We have dew points across the state, which are highest in south central Kansas. Dew points, of course, represent how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, and southeast winds helping to pump that moisture northward. And you'll notice where the thunderstorms initially develop, right along the northern edge of that area of deeper moisture as the warm, moist air begins to slide on to the east. Still some pretty intense thunderstorms to the southwest of Topeka, and we will, of course, zoom in on the radar, give you a complete tour of what's going on out there right now, and also talk about what's in store for the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Rob. In the news, Ivan is no longer a hurricane, but it's still causing major problems for residents of the Gulf Coast as well as the southeast. Manuel Gallegos has the latest.
Torn up rooftops, gas pumps pulled out of the ground, stoplights, and debris in the streets. Typical sights around the Florida Panhandle in the aftermath of Hurricane Ivan. But one day after the storm pounded the shore here, the sky is blue, and residents feel safe coming out to see what's left of their homes and businesses. This couple from Miramar was surprised to find that the town's local hangout, the boardwalk, is gone.
I don't know. There's not words to describe it. If you had seen what it looked like before, you can't believe the power of wind.
For others, their worst fears have come true.
It's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
In Pensacola, the McDavids lost their law business to Ivan, and hundreds of thousands of others are dealing with widespread power outages, no water, and no roads. Outside Pensacola, Interstate 10 is closed in both directions, a major east-west artery washed away by monster waves. And for loss of life, Ivan is the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. since Floyd in 1999. Half of the deaths here in Florida. In Alabama, coastal areas from Gulf Shores to Orange Beach are battered and in many places flattened. Multi-million-dollar condos reduced to rubble.
Right now, we got a lot of work ahead of us, it looks like.
The storm is still dropping buckets of rain on North Carolina and Tennessee. And for storm-fatigued residents, there are 73 days left in hurricane season. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Destin, Florida.
Ivan is now responsible for 27 deaths in the U.S., and as Manuel mentioned, half of them in Florida. While cleanup is beginning in the stricken areas, forecasters are watching Tropical Storm Jean. It struck the Dominican Republic with near hurricane winds, prompting thousands of people to flee their homes. Trees were toppled and floods struck parts of the island nation. Phone service and electricity is knocked out in some areas. Jean is expected to regain hurricane strength as it heads for the Bahamas. Well, the grandparents of a 5-year-old Topeka girl are on their way to Wyoming to pick her up. Stormy Shirk's mother was killed. Her father took off with her on Wednesday and later took his own life after releasing her. 13's Mike Maruzars reports.
I don't know how to put it in words.
A day later, this quiet Topeka neighborhood is still trying to understand. Melissa Shirk found dead, her ex-husband, 29-year-old Justin Shirk, allegedly taking their daughter, sparking a 6-state Amber Alert, leading police to Stormy.
There was a trucker in Wyoming who had heard about the Amber Alerts and made the first spot, notified law enforcement, and the law enforcement picked him up just west of Laramie.
An Albany County Sheriff's deputy says Stormy ran out of this car while it was parked here, shortly after Justin Shirk allegedly fatally shot himself in the head. Relatives went to Wyoming to get Stormy. Today, flowers replace playtime.
She was a great mom. We went to bring our daughter out and let her play in the mud puddles after it rained, and would show her little things about nature.
Melissa and Justin Shirk divorced in November, but their next-door neighbor says he never heard any arguments.
You know, I didn't live with them either. The only thing I saw was outside, so, yeah. People do different things behind closed doors.
As the investigation tries to clear up what happened here, we may never fully know what happened behind this door.
Melissa Shirk's family issued this statement. The family would like to thank law enforcement for the mass efforts put forth, the Amber Alert coverage by the media, and everyone who's prayed for Melissa as well as Stormy's safety. Two brothers will stand trial for an accident in August that killed two people. 35-year-old Reggie Reginald McKinney and 32-year-old Cleon Tyrone McKinney are charged with reckless second-degree murder. Police say the McKinney brothers were in a car that was chasing another vehicle along 17th Street. Investigators say the McKinney car struck the rear of another car, sending it spinning and into the side of a house. Killed were 23-year-old Byron Birch and 22-year-old Keo Emmanuel. A man and 3-year-old child in that car were injured. The child is the son of Keo Emmanuel and Reginald McKinney. Michael Jackson is back in court today in California. Jackson and members of his family are there to hear some key testimony in the singer's pre-trial hearing. On the stand is the mother of the accuser. She's previously referred to Jackson as, quote, the devil. Jackson has pleaded not guilty to charges of child molestation, conspiracy, and administering an intoxicating agent. The trial is scheduled to begin January the 31st. A reporter for a Wichita television station was doing a live report on a dangerous intersection in Sedgwick County when viewers got a close-up look at just how dangerous it really is. Here's a look at what viewers saw.
If you talk to people in Mays or even those who just drive through this area, almost all of them will tell you this is a dangerous intersection. You have cars on 53rd Street going 55 miles an hour. They do not have to stop. And on 119th Street, you have cars doing 55 miles an hour as well, but they do have to stop. Oh my gosh! There's just been a major accident out here. Hello, are you guys still there?
After the accident, the reporter and photographer went to assist the victims. The man in the car is in critical condition. The truck driver was not hurt. Well, Topeka celebrated Hispanic heritage with some food, fun, and a lot of dancing last night. All part of the festivities at the annual Mexican Independence Day celebration downtown. Fun included Mexican dancers, a mariachi band, and lots of Mexican food. Last night's events marked the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs through October the 15th. Here's a look ahead at some of the stories we'll have for you this afternoon on Live at 5. There are always deals at the fish counter, and Mr. Food has a recipe for you to combine the deals into a great meal. Plus, Dr. James Dobson has some tips on how to stop a temper tantrum before it begins. That's coming up on Live at 5. Now here's Melissa Bruner with a look at some of the stories we're working on for 13 News at 6.
The Jim Ryan-Nancy Boyda 2nd District congressional race is heating up. We'll take a look at the issues in that campaign coming up later today on 13 News. Also, we've been telling you about that controversial law that talks about how much sales tax you pay when you buy a used vehicle from someone else. A legislative committee is talking about it today, too. They're talking about possibly changing it. We'll detail that when you join us tonight for 13 News.
This is a WIBW television on your side commentary.
Amber Alert works. In the Wednesday incident in which Stormy Shirk's dad took her after allegedly killing the girl's mother, local media got the word out fast. At 13 News, we were doing a live report at noon when we heard the KBI was going to issue an Amber Alert for Stormy. We posted our alert around 12:30, as did other Topeka radio, television, and newspaper operations. The system worked as it's supposed to. Just before 6 p.m., when we learned Stormy had been spotted in western Nebraska, the Kansas Amber Alert ended. But the KBI requested an Amber Alert for Wyoming, and thanks to that, the Wyoming Highway Patrol spotted the Shirk car, passed the word to Albany County Sheriff's deputies, who followed it down a county road. Stormy was released by her father before he shot himself. It was the second Amber Alert of the week. Another came from Littleton, Colorado. That child was found safe in Colorado. Amber Alert is effective. At a time of little happiness, an ex-husband allegedly killing his ex-wife and kidnapping his child before killing himself, Amber Alert turned up the only happy chapter in a sad and tragic story and kept it from being sadder.
This has been a WIBW television on your side commentary. Send your comments to WIBW Television, 631 Southwest Commerce Place, Topeka, Kansas 66615, or email us at comments@WIBW.com.
Carpet One presents Carpet and Tile Hunter, starring LaVon Perner and Rugby.
Carpet One guarantees you the lowest price. If you find a lower one, we'll pay you the difference. You can't lose. And if you're hunting for the best deal on carpet, right now you can get a living room, dining room, and hall with Stainmaster carpet completely installed for one low price. And if your perfect floor isn't here, we'll help you hunt it down. So come here first. Going anywhere else is, well, just a crock.
We're having a great season at Sharp Honda, and with our huge expansion, we've taken in lots of great low-mileage vehicles of all kinds. That means you'll not only find what's right for you and your family, you'll know you're getting a good, dependable vehicle. Because along with it being listed on our own webpage, sharphonda.com, its complete Carfax history is right in the glove box for you to see. We want you to be proud and confident of the vehicle you drive home from Sharp Honda, no matter the make or the year. Sharp Honda, bigger and better than ever.
Attention Medicare recipients. Do recent changes in Medicare benefits have you confused? Do you know that Medicare may cover a significant portion of certain respiratory medications? Med4Home offers low-cost inhalers, portable nebulizers, and breathing medications delivered right to your door. Best of all, we navigate the Medicare paperwork for you. If you need respiratory medications, call us now at 1-800-734-3103. Our experts are only a free phone call away.
This segment is brought to you by Midwest Coating, your certified Duralast roofing contractor.
You're watching 13 News, Midday in Kansas.
Welcome back, everyone. Thunderstorms have been rolling from north central into east central Kansas over the last several hours. Northern edge of those storms weakening very quickly as it approaches Topeka. And I want to take you down and tell you about the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect right now. For about another 2.5 minutes, eastern Morris County under a severe thunderstorm warning, and a new warning has been issued for southern Dickinson County. That will be in effect until 12:45. Most intense part of these storms appears to be just to the southeast of Council Grove. If you live in Americus and eventually Emporia, you can expect some very heavy rain and perhaps some hail up to the size of Nichols as this storm moves in your direction. Also the southeastern part of Dickinson County, very intense cell there. That also likely producing hail up to the size of Nichols. That's why those 2 warnings are in effect. Eastern Morris County officially for another 2 minutes, and then southern Dickinson County until 12:45. These storms have been racing to the east pretty quickly at about 20 to 25 miles per hour, but notice how they're weakening on the northern edge, and as they approach Topeka, as expected, they are starting to fall apart. We may see some light rain or rain shower activity here in the capital city during the next 1 to 2 hours. However, the most intense storms will likely stay down to our south. Most of the thunderstorms during the morning hours, well, they haven't been producing a lot in the way of wind. However, they have been producing some hail up to the size of quarters, especially in north central and central Kansas to the west of Salina. And this activity continues to roll on to the southeast. We talked about how warm and muggy it is over the southern and western parts of the state. Well, they're warming in well into the 80s now, even approaching 90 in some areas. Dodge City at 87, Wichita at 86. Notice how cool it is with the clouds and precipitation in the area. Here in the northeastern part of the state, still 69 in Topeka. And later on tonight, that warm, moist air will make another run at us, and we'll see another development or another round of thunderstorms develop in parts of northeastern Kansas. But that's not likely to occur until after midnight. So we'll have a few lingering storms around this afternoon. They will produce some heavy rain and perhaps some small to medium-sized hail, but most of those will stay to our south. And then later on tonight, a similar situation could develop, although this time it's likely to be a little further to the east, which means we'll have another round of thunderstorms possible in some sections of northeastern Kansas tonight. Well, what about Saturday? Once the showers and thunderstorms move off to the east and dissipate, just a breezy and warm afternoon as temperatures should approach 90 here, with temperatures well into the 90s over western Kansas. 69 now, our humidity is 63%. We have a south wind at 7. 80 at best this afternoon, showers and thunderstorms in the area with the southeast wind at 10 to 15. A few scattered storms after midnight, the low 64, and then any rain should be ending by 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Windy and warm tomorrow afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, and the extended outlook shows a high of 92 on Sunday, cooling back to the low 80s by Tuesday.
Looks like a pretty nice weekend, though, for mid-September.
It will be warm, but other than that, very nice.
All right, thanks, Rob. Stay with us. Mr. Food is coming up next when Midday continues.
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on cash, because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for cash, he's He's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
If cash is your problem, visit Kaw Valley State Bank and Trust Company.
Is your freezer warm, but your oven cold? Is your washer all washed up? Young Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair can help. Let Rodney Doty, the Appliance Doctor, repair your ailing appliances. The Appliance Doctor works on all major appliances and offers service within 24 hours. Rodney takes pride in his work, promising 100% satisfaction. With over 30 years' experience, if the Appliance Doctor can't fix it, no one can. Just another reason to...
You're watching 13 News, Midday in Kansas.
Mr. Food is using shrimp as the main ingredient in a meal that's quick to make and one that tastes real good. Here's Mr. Food.
You want to make something that's very special and a lot less expensive than restaurant prices? Well, if we take advantage of some of the super prices on shrimp, here's how we can impress them with a tasty trip to the bayou. Watch. We place 1.5 pounds of large peeled and deveined shrimp in a single layer in an ungreased 9x13 dish. And we pour a mixture over them that we made from 1/3 cup of melted butter, 1/4 cup of a dry red wine, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons each of chili powder, black pepper, and minced garlic, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground red pepper. Now into a preheated 400-degree oven it goes, uncovered, for only about 7 or 8 minutes. That's all it takes. Because when the shrimp turn pink, done. Yes, that fast, that easily. And best part, we can usually pick up our shrimp already peeled and deveined at the market. Then, in just minutes at home, we'll be whipping up a spicy New Orleans-inspired shrimp dish that'll go over some rice or maybe on some crusty bread. You know, something to sop up that rich, buttery sauce. And if you'd like the recipe, you just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked Louisiana Shrimp Bake to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station. Or look for it online for impressing our gang or our guests with a fancy taste of a Louisiana classic. First, they'll think we spent a bundle on them. Nope. And second, that we fussed. Couldn't be easier to offer them something this, ooh, it's so good.
Coming up next, we'll check farm news and markets and also another look at that forecast when Midday continues right after this.
Closed captioning is sponsored by St. Francis Health Center. Technology to heal, compassion to connect.
Does your back ache? Ortho Mattress is #1 from coast to coast because we carry the best brands at guaranteed lowest prices. We carry Spring Air, Chatham & Wells, Summerhill & Bishop, and Ortho brand mattresses. At Ortho Mattress, we let you sleep free for 1 full year. You pay no interest, you pay no down payment, and you make no monthly payment for 1 full year. At Ortho Mattress, bring in any advertised price, and we'll beat it, or your mattress will be free.
The huge Labor Day sale is going on now at Ortho Mattress.
When every dollar counts, Performance Tire and Wheel is a name you can trust.
Performance Tire, your exclusive Cooper tire distributor, serving Topeka for more than 50 years, providing great services and competitive prices. Performance Tire and Wheel is a locally owned business that is proud to serve our neighbors. All of our work is done by dependable mechanics that will get the job done right. Performance Tire and Cooper Tire, all you need to know about tires.
Visit us at either of our 2 locations, 29th and Adams or 1735 North Kansas.
Have a comment or story idea for the 13 Newsroom? Drop us a letter or send us an email.
Tom, want to grab a sandwich?
Hunger stalks me like a lioness, and you speak to me of mere sandwiches? Nay, sir! I shall feast on only the finest meats and cheeses, cradled betwixt heavenly sourdough and toasted to sandwich perfection. And on this matter of taste, sir, I shall not yield!
So you want to go to Schlotzsky's?
Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try the new Chicken Romano Panini at Schlotzsky's. No compromise, all taste.
You're watching 13 News, Midday in Kansas.
It is time now for a check of agriculture news across the country.
As Hurricane Ivan prepares to hit land, agriculture in the southeast prepares for the worst. An estimated $5 billion worth of farm products could be lost to this latest storm, the 3rd hurricane to pound the region in a month. Virtually all of the U.S. peanut crop is at risk, with fields in Georgia, the nation's #1 peanut state, already underwater. Ivan stands to become the strongest hurricane to strike the U.S. since Andrew pounded Florida in 1992, causing more than $30 billion in damage.
Here's a look at our prices today. And from Chicago, live cattle, September at $84.50, October at $85.70, and November at $86. Feeder cattle, October $112, November $110.50, and January $105.20. Lean hogs, October $72, December at $68.85, February at $67.35. Kansas City wheat, December $363.50, March at $371. Chicago wheat, December $338.50, March at $349. Corn futures, December $216.50, March at $226.25. Soybeans, November $555 and January $562.50. Topeka terminal grain bids, wheat at $347, corn $193, Milo at $178, all unchanged. Beans down 2 cents to $5.16. At noon Eastern Time, the Dow is up 43.21, while the Nasdaq is up just over 3.5 points. Now with another look at our forecast, here's Rob.
Thanks, Ron. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Dickinson County until 12:45. The warning for eastern Morris County is now being canceled. And although I would advise our viewers down in Emporia to be on the lookout for some brief heavy rainfall, perhaps some small hail as those storms roll your direction. Officially no warnings in effect right now, but we're going to see a continuation of showers and thunderstorms, primarily in areas to our south this afternoon. And some of these storms will be capable of producing some large hail. In Topeka, perhaps a round of light to moderate rainfall over the next hour or two. However, rainfall amounts here in the capital city should generally be less than 1/4 inch. But we still have some warm, moist air in place across southwestern Kansas. And later on tonight, most likely after midnight, that will be pushed up to the northeast. And we may see some additional shower and thunderstorm development later on tonight into the morning hours on Saturday. Otherwise, it looks like it'll be dry across the state this weekend. Temperatures just barely getting close to 80 this afternoon, but tomorrow looks like it will be warmer with highs topping out very close to 90 degrees, well into the 90s over parts of western Kansas. This afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms, a high temperature around 80. Tonight, maybe a few more thunderstorms, especially late. Those will be tapering off tomorrow morning, and the remainder of the weekend looks warm, windy, and dry. Ron?
Thanks, Rob. Just ahead, we'll meet a Topeka man who reads newspapers and magazines for others. We'll explain in just a moment.
Having a national pizza sale.
Buy any pizza at regular price and get any medium pizza for just $5 more.
I'll get a supreme
regular price
and a pepperoni.
$5 buckaroos.
Meat lovers.
$5
peppers and onions.
$5 Reno.
Sausage.
Veggie lovers. $5 Maximus.
$5 Pizza Hut's national pizza sale. Buy any pizza at regular price and get up to 5 medium pizzas for just $5 each. The sale's so good you gotta go for more.
Hope the kids are hungry.
Gather around the good stuff.
Healthcare costs continue to rise, with more expenses for families and employers. Congressman Jim Ryun has a positive plan to keep costs in check, passing medical malpractice reform, promoting tax-free health savings accounts, making out-of-pocket costs tax-deductible, and allowing small businesses to band together to negotiate better prices. Re-elect Jim Ryun for Congress, the only candidate who's working today to reduce health costs for Kansas families.
I am Congressman Jim Ryun, and I approve of this message.
Jayhawk Pharmacy, the perfect fit.
You know, getting the right fit in a diabetic shoe was important to me, and I'd have to say I was definitely pleased with Jayhawk Pharmacy.
Diabetic footwear covered by Medicare.
You know, they took the time to make sure we had just the right fit. And best of all, the shoes and insoles were eligible for Medicare.
You can depend on Jayhawk Pharmacy for the perfect fit at 29th and Urish in Topeka.
You're watching 13 News, Midday in Kansas.
Blind as well as print-disabled Kansans are able to read magazines, books, and thanks to the audio reader program at KU, Jim Clausen of Topeka is one of the voices heard on those tapes. And you go over at Lawrence once a week.
Every Tuesday.
And do what?
I read the newspapers of Northwest Missouri.
Nottoway News Leader is a big hit in Northwest Missouri, but I read some other ones up there too. But I'm only one of many volunteers who go over there all the time and read newspapers, magazines, books, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're on the KU campus in Lawrence, but this is available all through the entire state of Kansas.
And this is for people that either can't read or
That's right.
because of handicap, they can't hold the book and this kind of thing. Tell us how that works, because this isn't just for everyone.
We have an application form that is available. We're going to put a phone number up at some time here that you could call to get the application. You just have to not be able to read the printed matter, whether that's blindness or you can't use your hands or whatever. The radio's free. It's all free. And we send it out to whomever requests and wants to do it.
So you read newspapers and you like 24 hours a day, which is hard to believe.
7 days
There's somebody
a
there
week.
all the time. Part of it's
Well,
live,
part of it's
taped,
tape.
or-
We pick up feeds from the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and that sort of thing. But it's going on 24 hours a day. By the way, we read Playboy and Playgirl late at night.
Do you? Well, that's why. That's a good.
But like any other organization, we have to raise money. And I want to mention that today,
Okay,
if I
sure.
may. We have a sale coming up next weekend, starting a week from today. It's called For Your Ears Only. And here's the poster for it. We snuck that away, and it's a sale of used records, tapes, CDs, all sorts of music things, and it'll be at the Douglas County Fairgrounds in Lawrence next Friday evening and all day next Saturday. And we would like to have folks come out. And by the way, we're still accepting records and tapes and CDs. I just picked up some as I was on my way over here today.
There's the phone number on the screen, the
Right.
800 number for people interested in this audio reader, which is a great program that you're helping with, Jim, and you and all the others. We thank you very much for what you're doing for the people of Northeast Kansas.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. That's Midday in Kansas for today. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you back here on Monday.